A special treat. We got some of your mailbag questions coming up, all answered 100% correctly, and this is the key, or your money back. I was watching the Tampa Bay Lightning, turn them on a little bit late. My daughter had a theater recital, presentation, whatever they call that these days. It's not a recital, right? That's a dance thing.
Performance?
There you go. Yeah. Performance sounds good. So when I came back, the Lightning were in the second period, and they were up 2-1. Then it was 2-2. They go to the third, and it gets to be around 2 minutes or so, and then you can see the Lightning saying, you know what? And this is your favorite line, or the one that I learned from you. We're going to munch a point right here. We're not getting out of this place without at least getting a point on the road. And
John
they did
Cooper
just
loves
that.
to bunch points. Loves to bunch points.
Yeah. And they did just that. Unfortunately, they did also lose in overtime, and kind of an unfortunate goal there at the end. I think, was it Sorelli couldn't quite find the pass that went across, but anyway. They beat Vassy in overtime. It was pretty early into it. I don't think they ever had possession of the puck.
Nope. Washington had it the whole time. So
yeah. So
they should have a rule like the NFL, though. If you don't have possession,
each team gets it right.
They scored without having possession of the puck. The Lightning should now get possession, right?
Exactly.
Should
at least get one position. That'd be kind of cool. I like that. I like that rule. All right, you guys we don't have a face off. You just start in your own blue line and let's go.
Yeah, well, no, you can do the face-off, whoever wins it, but if a team doesn't get possession, they still get a chance. I mean, unless you keep it the whole 5 minutes, then it's over. But
yeah. So you're saying you play the 5 minutes and then whoever's up is up.
Yeah, well, in the NFL,
each team must have the puck at least.
So in
once.
the NFL, every team gets a possession unless the first team possesses it the whole 10 minutes and drives it down the field. You do realize,
isn't it? If you score a touchdown, you don't get the possession back.
Well, that too. But if you kept it the whole 10 minutes and kicked a field goal as time ran out of the 10 minutes, the other team does not get a possession.
Okay.
So there is a way to win by a field goal and the other team doesn't get possession, even though.
No, I'm all for it. That would have been fun, but unfortunately, it did not go their way. It was kind of an unfortunate goal. Went through the crease, kind of like, and everybody missed it, but
there was lots of good things to take from the game. I mean, but first of all, they were on a back-to-back,
and
Washington had played Sunday, not Monday. So you're on a back-to-back. You took 3 or 4 points on your back-to-back.
Yep,
that's on the road. That's really good. Like
that's
take 3 out of every 4 on a back-to-back. Fantastic. Like
yep.
Now you would have liked to have gotten the extra point tonight, but you also played with 5 defensemen for the last 2 periods because Max Crozier did not come out in the second period and did not return. So we'll see what his status is. The Lightning are off today, so they won't be. They'll return to practice.
They got 2 more games on this road trip, right?
Well, it is, but so it's a 4-game road trip. It was Monday and Tuesday, and then it's Friday.
Oh, are they
and Saturday.
coming home and they going back?
They're home, or as we're taping this, they're coming home.
Oh wow! Oh, that's
and
unusual.
Then Thursday they'll have a morning practice and then fly out Thursday afternoon to go play Friday, Saturday because there's 2 off days in between.
Okay.
So they'll go to Detroit and Columbus on Thursday.
Well, that's different.
Friday and Saturday will be the game. So yeah, but they're actually on their way home as we tape this. As you listen to it, they should be home already. So
yeah. Well, look, they're playing much better, and Vassy was in net, so it was good to see him not get destroyed in there. But so early in the season, I'm just glad that they look like themselves again. It was those 2 home games were rough, man. They just didn't compete for whatever reason, and certainly didn't shoot the puck. So, not that they had a ton of shots that I could see tonight, but they're only trailing like maybe 4 or 5 shots from the other team. So they are 1, 2, 1, 2, and 1. 1, 2, and 1. 1, 2, and 1. Okay, there you go.
Yep.
All right. Hockey is underway.
Football's
underway. We got the Bucs playing at Detroit. They do not come to practice. I think there will be. I think the players have something on Wednesday. For the media, we're going to talk to a couple assistant coaches, Kevin Carberry, I think McLennan, I think the receivers coach as well. And then Thursday will be their regular work day. Everything moves up a day. Thursday's like, Wednesday's like Thursday and Thursday's like Friday and so on. And it sounds like Madden, right? Yeah, you got Thursdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays. But so I think we didn't hear what Emeka Egbuka's MRI said, which may or may not be bad news, I suppose. I mean, if it was really bad news, you'd have Adam Schefter tweeting about it. According to my sources, Emeka Egbuka is going to be out for a long time. But we didn't hear that. So I'm guessing it's probably a more mild than severe hamstring strain, just based on everything, right? Based on how he was walking around, no one seems overly concerned. And that could change, obviously, but will he play this week? I don't know. The one thing he has on his side is he had his 23rd birthday that he celebrated on Tuesday. So when you're that young, man, you're going to recover fast, right? That's the one thing he has going for him. I think, like we said the other day, I think Mike Evans has a chance. Godwin is definitely out. Bucky's definitely out, and you're gonna really lean heavily on some of the same guys who did the Johnson and Johnson crew from the last game. You have to lean on a little bit, but if you get Mike Evans back, and that would be an enormous get with Egbuka out, and then you still have some guys that made plays like Sterling Shepard and others, Ryan Miller, and so they'll make do for one game until they get everyone, hopefully. So that's sort of what happened on Tuesday. There wasn't a lot of forthcoming news, but we'll find out more about that as we go out to One Buck Place probably on Thursday. Might be another day or so before we learn anything. Hey, we got some mailbag questions coming up, as I mentioned. But first, get on down to Breitling Boutique. You know where they're at? International Plaza Mall. You know where that is, over by the airport and stadium and all that area over there. Uh, Great mall to begin with. And International Plaza is where you'll find Breitling Boutique in the center of the mall, second floor. You're going to see the store and go in there and spend some time because you're going to love the Breitling Boutique. The Breitling company has been making the best Swiss watches now over 140 years. They've been in International Plaza Mall for more than 5 years. Now, when you go in, plan to spend some time because they have a lot of products there, man. The men's watches, the chronomats, the Navitimers, women's watches for your wife, for your girlfriend. These are sports watches. They're absolutely beautiful, durable as they can be as well. And she can pick from an array of different colored wristbands. And listen, while supplies last, they've been doing this thing, celebrating the NFL's 104th year anniversary with 32 team watches. These are chronomat watches for men. They have the team colors on the face of the watch, the logo inside. They are spectacular. Go by Breitling Boutique. Look inside the window. Last time I was there, I saw the Buccaneer team watch. I think I saw the Jaguars team watch. These things are collector's items. You're going to want to get one. It is Breitling Boutique, International Plaza Mall. And when you go, make sure you tell them you heard about it right here on Sports Day Tampa Bay. All right, we had a few mailbag questions we might want to get into for a little discussion points. Let's get started.
Yeah, so Craig in Vegas had tweeted. This is a few days ago. It's actually last week. So
yeah,
he says the NFC is wide open, and we know the Bucs could use a pass rush. If Raiders called Jason and said, "Hey, Max Crosby can be had for 2 first-round picks," would you do it? Seems the Bucs window is open and with Baker as well as this roster.
I don't know that I would do it. I'm pretty damn sure that Jason would not do it. And even though you could make an argument as we get closer to the deadline that this team sort of has a special feel to it. They match the best start in franchise history that's been done about 2 or 3 times at 5-1, and to consider the fact that they are so decimated by injuries, particularly on offense, but they certainly have other needs on this football team. I just have never known Jason really to want to part with draft picks, no matter what the status of the team was. And the fact is, they're going to get some guys back health wise, or so they think. Now, other guys could get hurt as well. I don't think you never say never with Jason. I think like if there was a team and a start to a season that would sort of like buttress your conviction about doing something with a trade and giving up some draft capital, this might be the year. But a Max Crosby, like the deal he just suggested, would be way, way, way too much, I think, that Jason Licht would want to give up, And the fact of the matter is, I mean, it's one game, but they did have 6 sacks the other day, which was a very encouraging sign. I think the longer this defense is together, the better they're going to get. So that's a long way of saying I just don't see Jason dipping into his future, draft picks, because that's what built this team. That's what built this current team, and that's sort of the lifeblood of the NFL. Because once these guys hit free agency after 4 years, you got to make choices and start cutting guys off your roster, and I don't see them doing that. So, yeah, I tend to think that they'll stand pat Hope that they get more production out of Hassan Reddick. Hope they get more production out of Yaya Diaby. Both those guys, I believe, had a sack or shared a sack or something like that this past game. And I think they just go there. I think they just keep working them, encouraging them, trying to get them off the football a little bit quicker, and then hope that they hold up. But you never say never. It's really hard when you look at this football team, how many guys have made the team that have been drafted, to tell Jason Licht, on a very short-term basis, we're going to give up some, fairly good draft compensation, and may sound good now, but it won't afterwards.
I think if you could find a deal that only had one first-round pick, maybe.
Because
if you go on to
if you
win
think
the
you're
Super
going to
Bowl,
pick 28th or 30th,
yeah, you're going to 32nd, whatever.
Yeah. If he
But-
puts you over the top, it's worth it, right? If you think this is the piece.
I mean, I think if you have the piece, go for it.
Mm-hmm. I don't disagree.
I
know Jason's nature, and he's not one to do it.
Well, he's not one to do it, but at the same time,
but they haven't been 6-1 or 5-1.
Your quarterback's playing at an MVP level.
He's playing out of his mind.
Fifth, sixth, and seventh receivers.
That's right.
And a banged up offensive line. And you're going to get some pieces back now.
Yeah.
Soon, hopefully.
The edge rusher would certainly be helpful. I wonder, though, given the current injury situation, if you wouldn't take a flyer on a wide receiver.
Depends on what you think. Are you going to get McMillan back? Do you think Godwin can reach elite level this year?
I don't. I have my doubts about that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you, but I'm saying these are the questions you have to ponder.
And by the way, Jalen McMillan is still in a neck brace. I don't think that's a good sign either.
Probably not. Although I'm not a doctor, so
understood. But I'm just saying, there's some things here that are going on that, so who can tell me when Godwin is coming back, or if he is? He's not on IR, so that would indicate to me they're hopeful at least he's back in 4 weeks, or they put him on IR. Don't know about Emeka. I think sooner than later. When Mike comes back, is he Mike? Is he the same guy, or does it take time to ramp him up? So yeah, I don't think it'd be the worst thing to say, let's get us legitimate bona fide receiving target here, and maybe it's an older player, maybe a veteran that you can give up a second or third round pick. I could see that. That would make sense to me, or an offensive lineman, quite frankly, if you could better yourself.
Yeah, I mean, the hard part is there's not a lot of offensive linemen available.
Not good ones.
Not good ones. I mean, people will dump receivers for contract purposes.
They will, yeah.
And that, but offensive linemen you're rarely dumping unless you just don't think they're good enough anymore.
Or they're going to be a free agent, or some other circumstance. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, maybe, but
if you're good, they're going to re-sign you, so that doesn't matter.
Yeah. I mean, if you can find offensive linemen, I'm all for it, but
sure, they're not there. They're not out there on the waiver wire for you to or trade block for you to trade for. But defensively, I could see them doing some stuff. I really could. Mm-hmm. It all comes down to, and I think each game as you get closer to the deadline, right? You get to 6-1, maybe 7-1. Now you're talking about a really, really special season.
Yep.
So I think in that case, you kind of have an obligation to try to go for it. You
get to 6-1, 7-1. I mean, the first round bye is in play.
Absolutely.
Which means it just takes one game to get to the championship and 2 to get to the Super Bowl.
And right now they have the top seed in the NFC.
Right.
I mean, right now. And so, if they were, if they were playing the playoffs tomorrow, which they're not, the Bucs would have a first round bye, like you said. They'd have to beat one team to play in the NFC Championship to see who goes to the Super Bowl. That's it.
Yeah.
Win 2 games,
team at home,
you go.
At home.
Both
those games would be at home.
Both at home. And you win them, and you're in the Super Bowl. 2 games. That's a phenomenal opportunity for them.
Yep.
So, do everything you can to get there, absolutely. You just don't get these chances very often. We've seen it, twice, 20, almost 25, more than 20 years apart.
Well, and just look around the NFL. I mean, going into the season, who did you say had the best roster in the NFL? It was the Ravens.
I thought so, yeah.
They're like 2-4. I mean, there's no guarantee just because you have a good team or think you have a good team that you're going to actually perform.
No.
So when you're in a year like this and you have a legit shot, you think,
Yeah.
Within reason. I mean, it's not.
You can't
Don't
give
just,
away the farm, but yeah.
give away your next 5 first-round picks. Like, no,
Right.
but
Right. We're not making the Gruden deal.
yeah. But if there's a reasonable deal, you got to look at all options. And I'm sure Jason will. I mean, they kind of
Yeah,
did it with
of course.
Brady. I mean, they were signing everybody with Brady.
Oh yeah. Well, Brady, the free agent magnet was
Yeah.
was sort of his
And
his
much like
cause.
with Brady, you got a quarterback that's way outperforming his salary.
True. You can afford you can afford a player or two. You can take on
which
some salary.
allows some help. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Brady's being compensated handsomely, but not nearly what Dak Prescott and many others are getting. Now, Dak's having a good year too, but
Yeah. Well, his next deal is going to be massive. It's going to be probably nothing shy of $60 million a year, but that's just me.
yeah, but by then the salary cap's going to go up another $60 million. That's going to pay for that part alone. I mean,
Hopefully, yeah. That's what you're banking on for sure.
Yeah.
You want to keep these guys together. Some are getting longer in the tooth. Others you brought in, and they've just been injured. And there's just nothing, other than letting guys heal up. And that's the thing. Like, bringing these guys off IR is a scary proposition too, because if and when Mike plays, is he solid? Is it like last year where he's going to run the table and go the rest of the season without?
So this is what I worry about, because we know Mike is a gamer. He wants to be out there. He wants to help his team. No Godwin, no McMillan, no Egbuka. Is Mike going to push to get back sooner than he's ready? And
because you mean he'll be a targeted guy, or
no, that he's not quite ready and he pushes it too hard and gets hurt more. That's what I worry about. I worry about just knowing the competitor he is and knowing, hey, Baker's lost his top 3 receivers. I got to be out there.
Oh, I'm sure it's killing him.
We know the way player. I mean, and he's not the only player that does this. Like, players often, oh, I'm fine, coach. I'm fine. Well, maybe you are, maybe you aren't. Like,
right.
I mean, they want to play. That's all they know. That's what they do. That's what they want to do. It's what they love to do. I just hope that he's smart about it too. That if the hamstring's not ready, don't go. Like, at the end of the day, if you lose Monday night at Detroit,
it's not the end of your season. It's not.
No, not even close.
Yeah. When Detroit,
I mean, that's a game you looked at the
before.
beginning of the season. You said that could easily be a loss. Like, you didn't look at the schedule and that's a guaranteed win. No.
Right.
So if you lose on Monday night at Detroit, okay.
Yeah.
5-2 is still really damn good.
5, or as my good friend Sam White said his last season, 5-2. Look it up.
Yep.
May rest in peace for Sam. They got to feel really good where they're at from and everybody. If there's one thing that probably makes them feel uncomfortable, it's the rat poisoning that Baker Mayfield and others are getting. But he'll keep that shoulder ship. Don't worry. But the rest of them got to realize that they have not arrived. They have not done anything except win 5 out of 6 games. And last time I checked, 5 wins ain't going to get you a Super Bowl. So
yes, Tez, they're not chanting MVP for you.
This is the best story ever, man. I wrote about that in real time on Sunday. I probably didn't get enough play. It was one of my lead quotes when he was telling us that. And then I saw the mic'd up video, and it's hysterical. It's like funnier than he told it. It's just those.
Man, I didn't done anything.
Godwin's on the bench, and Sterling Shepard's trying to tell Godwin like what this fool is talking about. He's like, he thought they were saying MVP for him, man. And Godwin's just losing himself. It's hysterical. And Tez is like, well, that's who I am, man. But it was such a good moment, such an innocent moment that it was phenomenal. But they were chanting MVP, and he figures, well, I don't know why they'd be cheering for me. I just got here.
Well, at least he's smart. He realized that.
Yeah, right. He was kind of like, well, why are they doing this? Like, why are they saying MVP? It can't be for me, right? I thought it was for me. Oh, okay. Just the innocence of this kid. He's a great story. Yeah. Great kid. Him and Cameron Johnson are both going to continue to get reps and throws, and at the end of the day, like, all these guys are going to be better for having played.
Mm-hmm.
This is just invaluable experience.
No question about it.
So,
all right, Bucs fan had tweeted.
Mm-hmm.
He says, "Can you guys talk about Baker Mayfield's contract next week? I would assume if things continue as he is playing, I assume the Bucs will negotiate a long-term contract with him in March. Are we looking at 5 years, $300 million?"
Well, they did a couple. They did one thing this year, and he didn't really ask for it, but they kind of just out of the goodness of their heart. This is the second year of a 3-year deal that he signed. That's worth about $33 million a year, $100 million in 3 years, and um, more of an act of good faith. Uh, they went ahead and guaranteed that final season. It was not guaranteed prior to this, and they went ahead and said, you know what, that 30 something million your final year, we're gonna lock that up too. So if something happens to you, boom, you got $30 million, next season, not 2025 but 2026. Do I think that there's going to be a big contract extension sometime? I do. Will it be next March, when he's still not going to be a free agent for another year? I'm not sure. I'm not sure, you know. Certainly if he were to continue to play this way, uh, you could see where a bump would be warranted, and maybe his agent would ask for it. I'm not sure how that would go. Um, I know Baker loves it here. This is his home. He was thrilled to get the $100 million, probably more thrilled that they guaranteed all of it now. And I think there's probably some recognition on his part that, like, much like Brady, that, if I take all the money, I'm going to need guys around me. I mean, if this year wasn't a lesson of that, I don't know what is. Because injuries can and do happen, and it makes the job so much harder. Um, so it's a long way of saying is I think that if he progresses this way and he's an MVP type candidate and they get into the playoffs and get deep, I could see them tearing up that last year. I could see them saying, we're not going to wait for you to go into free agency, a year from now, 2026, whatever. We're going to go ahead and extend this thing out. Probably lower the cap number for next season. There's a lot of incentives about it, but
well,
I
first
think
of all,
the biggest one is just a recognition that he will have earned close to whatever the going rate is, $60 million a year. He would have been worth it.
Yep. Well, first of all, extending that $33 million next year is the smartest decision they ever made.
Oh God, yeah.
You see the way he's performing this year, you're like, that's a steal for next year. Now,
absolutely.
Do I think that's going to be a salary next year? No, because I think they will get a deal done in the offseason.
That's what I believe too.
And he'll get a raise there too. But it does give the Bucs a little leverage because he is under contract, guaranteed for next year.
Right, and he didn't have to worry about getting hurt and then not having anything. So,
but what that contract looks like will be judged by a couple things. One, how much does Baker really want, knowing that the more the quarterback takes, the less resources for everybody else? So, do you want to sign another edge rusher? Do you want to do this? The Tom Brady method, I'll take $25 million every year, while other quarterbacks are making more because I want to win.
Well, is he Brock Purdy or is he Dak Prescott?
Well, and then two, how does this season end for Baker? Does he continue to play like this, and does he win an MVP? Does he win the Super Bowl?
Right.
Or make the all those things can impact what your quarterback is worth at the end of the day.
Sure it can.
He's had a great first 6 games, but can he sustain it for 17?
Yeah. No,
and granted, do I think he'll have 3 interceptions by the end of the year? Extrapolate the 6 games out. No, he'll probably have a few more than that.
3? But, really?
But if you is he going to go 15 and 3 essentially, or 15 and 2, or 14 and 3, and 3 interceptions for the year? Then he's worth $60 million for sure. I mean,
yeah, that'd be nice. Yeah. No, he would be, and I tend to think that he's going to be in that 55 to maybe south of $60 million range. We'll see.
Yeah.
And who knows what kind of deal that is? That 2-year deal. He'll be 30, or he is 30 now. I think he's probably got 5 to 7 good years left. I mean, he is. Part of what he does is his athleticism, and I don't know how long those wheels are going to be on him because he takes so many chances with them. But I due for a raise, but also probably very mindful of the fact that he, of any quarterback, he's got to have his guys around him. He knows, much like Brady did, that the secret sauce is, hey, it's great to get paid and all that, but if I want to win, for me to get noticed and to be really successful, it's about winning, and winning to me might mean something different than it does to some guys. Some guys, they're in it for the money. They want to get their bag. Yeah, they want to win, but they want to get their bag. So,
and the other part, and Baker is already exploited this throughout his career. And if he wins MVP this year, say he wins a Super Bowl, et cetera, like
Yeah.
how many more commercials are you going to see him on? How much more
Absolutely.
ancillary income is he going to
Oh,
bring in?
absolutely. Yeah.
Brady was doing the same thing, and
Mm-hmm.
the
Mm-hmm.
stars do it. And Baker's so likable on camera and does the commercials so well, and back to
Yeah.
his Cleveland days with the progressive commercials and
Right.
all those that if he has the season and continues on what he's doing, like how many more commercials is he going to be in next year? How much more does he become a face of the NFL?
Oh yeah.
And and so you don't have to take as much salary per se because you've got all this other income coming in.
Look, they allowed Brady to have Alex Guerrero and TB12 right down the street there,
Yep.
about a half mile away or so, and all their players went there. I'm thinking a Popeyes. I'm thinking of Popeyes right across the street from $1, and they just cater anytime they need lunch.
That just Uber Eats it over to $1
Uber Eats,
because he
Uber Eats
speaks
it
for them
next
too.
door. Yeah, absolutely, man. Who doesn't love Popeyes? So yeah, I think he's in for a big contract. I don't think it's a slam dunk that they would do it at the end of this season, but it makes a lot of sense if the season ends the way we think it's going to, or even anything close to it. And then you could accomplish a lot of things that way. But Baker's smart. Like I do believe that Baker's not going to be saying, "Hey, make me the highest paid." He of all people recognize he's been on teams. He recognizes what good talent, retaining good talent can do for your program, and I would think that he would kind of come down on that. But who knows? Every guy has their own motivation. But he's good. We're going to be settled here, and whether he plays here next year or not, I think he's decided that Tampa is his home, or at least his home away from home, and he's going to be here for a while.
All right, TL had a couple questions. He sent this in last week. So he says, 1, is it too soon to dub Emeka Egbuka Mechatron? And then 2, currently with 31, Todd Bowles is third place all time in wins for a Bucs head coach. Do you see him reaching Tony Dungy's 54 wins or Gruden's 57 wins?
I mean, if you get to 54, you can certainly get to 57. I love Mechatron, by the way. He's not physically, he's not Calvin Johnson, so that was kind of specific to just his absolute ridiculous size, right, and strength.
Mm-hmm.
But Mechatron's not bad. I gotta admit. May see that one pulled out at some point. What was the question again? Other than Mechatron?
Todd Bowles had 31 wins currently, and I
Oh.
think it's 32 now because he sent that last week. So
Yeah.
do you see him reaching Dungy's 54 or Gruden's 57?
I don't know if he'll reach Dungy's 54. It's a great question, and I'm trying to duck it as best I can. I'm just happy that those loud voices that we all heard when Todd Bowles took over and made the postseason, but was only 8-9, and then won one more game and then one more game. But just some of the noise that's out there surrounding him, some of the vile stuff on my timeline about him, all that, by the way, the cockroaches have gone back into their wherever they hide because the light's been turned on, and everybody now can see that. He turns out Todd Bowles kind of knows what he's doing. Kind of a good coach. And I'm happy for him because he pours a lot into it, as all coaches do. Doesn't ask for much in return, but I've always thought he was pretty good. And the thing that has impressed me about Todd is that he has worked to get better. He knows his deficiencies. He knew clock management was an issue. So what does he do? He went and got the guy from the Jaguars to help him out with that specifically. So, he's going to continue to push and get better himself. And I think a lot of guys are going to want to play here naturally for a lot of different reasons. So I I'm glad that Bowles is finally getting the recognition he deserves. I've always thought he was an underrated coach, but I think the big thing is that he has evolved, and with this team, with the experience, he's one of those guys that has kind of helped build this culture, and he won't get credit for it. Baker will get most of the credit, and rightfully so on some levels. But the guys that were here with Jason Licht, guys with Bowles, like they've created that locker room, and it's everybody pulling the rope in the same direction. And so I'm glad for him because I don't get those vile text messages anymore where people intentionally misspell his name and it says something else. And I just, I think you've got to win in the postseason. We're not done with the Todd Bowles story yet because while I think he'll catch some of those guys, if you continue to win to a point and you get in the postseason, and you're division champions 4 or 5 years in a row, but you can't get over the hump, that's where Gruden came in. That's where Tony was. So what that window is, I'm not sure. Could be this year, could be next, could be 2 more. I know they're pretty happy with him. I know that there's no talk of anything. It's not Super Bowl or bust, but there will be some restlessness if they get far and don't finish the deal. I just think they're headed there. I think that they're going to be a contender not just this year, but I think the way it's set up for years to come because of the number of draft picks that have made this team. So yeah, pretty pleased with them overall.
We're not moving the goalpost on them again like we were last year.
Well, every year there's certain people, and you know who you are, that would say, "Oh no, hey, he's got to win 9 or he's got to win 10." No. He's got to win a game in a postseason. He has to win a playoff game. Oh no, he's got to go to the NFC Championship at least, or he's got to go to Super Bowl at least, or he's got to win it at least. Like they're all over the map, and sometimes it's the same people that just keep moving the goalposts. Which I think is funny, but who else do they do that for? You just don't see that very often. But Todd handles it well. Look, he knows even now that they're sitting here 5-1, if you're a head coach in the National Football League, you live in a constant fear that someone's going to stick a pin in your bubble and it's going to burst, and then you're going to lose like 7 or 8, 9, 10 in a row. And it happens, man. It happens. So it's a cruel league that way. And just as easily as you can get a winning streak, losing streaks happen too. So I think they're a little playing with house money right now. Like this thing, you go to Detroit and let's say things don't work out there and you lose there. I think you probably got to win it in New Orleans. So I think at minimum you're 6-2. You'd take that any day of the week, with a lot of division games coming up after it. So but yeah, so far so good. They're an elite team. They're the number 1 seed in the NFC. That's what kills me is that, if the playoffs started today, which it doesn't, obviously, they'd be home. They'd be home while other teams were playing, and then they would play somebody in a divisional round. And if they won that, they'd be playing in a championship game to see who goes to the Super Bowl. It's just 2 victories, and you're playing to see who goes to the Super Bowl. So if they can maintain this, it would be. I mean, it feels like a special season so far, but for them to go wire to wire and make it like that, and have the number 1 seed in the NFC, I can't imagine that. I don't believe that has happened to the Bucs ever. That they entered the playoffs as a 1 seed. I don't believe. All right, so we got the Tampa Bay Lightning headed home. They'll go back on the road Friday for another road trip. The Bucs will have maybe a little bit of a bonus day today. I know we're going to have some conference calls with some assistant coaches and guys that have really been the ones, the sort of the unsung heroes of this whole group. Kevin Carberry and guys like that have just been invaluable to the Bucs. We'll have a chance to talk to them. So check that out on the Tampa Bay Times and on tampabay.com. And make sure you get on down, please, to Breitling Boutique, International Plaza Mall. You know where that is. Go to the center of the mall, 2nd floor. That's where you're going to find the Breitling Company. Beautiful watches, NFL team watches. They're celebrating the 104th year anniversary. Every team you can imagine. These are timepieces you want to collect. And they have watches for your wife and your girlfriend as well. It's Breitling Boutique, International Plaza Mall. Please let them know that you heard about it right here on Sports Day Tampa Bay. For Steve Versnick, I'm Stroud of the Tampa Bay Times. Have a great day, everybody.